my name is Hank. I'm a PhD student at Carnegie Mellon University. So on behalf of my co-authors, Lan, Stephanie, Jodi, and Sauvik, I'll be presenting our work. I don't know if we're doing good. I don't know if we're doing bad. Investigating how practitioners scope, motivate, and conduct privacy work when developing AI products. So we're now in the era where artificial intelligence is part of our everyday products and services. The recent work in AI as a design material has looked into ways to systematically support practitioners in using AI to ideate new AI product ideas. Indeed, these shiny new AI technologies make the world very exciting, creating many new products and technology opportunities. But there's a flip side, new privacy risks introduced by these AI products. So we're all seeing the privacy incidents caused by AI products on social media. They remind us that without careful considerations, these AI products can also turn into a large unsupervised surveillance infrastructure that invades our privacy. So seeing the tension between the utility and privacy risk of AI technology makes us wonder, are practitioners who are building these new AI technologies equipped to recognize and mitigate the privacy risk introduced by AI? And there are reasons to believe that AI technologies create new challenges for practitioners to think about privacy when building products. First, prior work suggests that there remains a substantial gap between principle and practice in creating AI technologies that center human needs, societal good, and safety. So here we zoom in specifically in the aspect of privacy. Even for well-known resources for designing AI systems like Apple's Human Interface Guidelines for Machine Learning and Google's Peer Guidebook, it is unclear if they provide enough guidance for practitioners to directly follow through for their privacy work. And second, AI technologies have the potential to pose unique privacy harms due to its unique capabilities, such as facial recognition and deepfake. This year at CHI, our team presented a taxonomy shows AI introduces new risks that not previously accounted for, such as tools that generate realistic fake images and audio that humans have difficulty discerning as fake, and risks that AI amplifies from existing ones, such as a larger scale surveillance or more accurate inferences. In short, AI indeed changes the landscape of privacy. So in this work, to formally contextualize the barriers practitioners face in AI privacy work, we drew from the Security and Privacy Acceptance Framework, or short for the SPAF. So the SPAF survey on what leads to users accepting and rejecting best practices in security and privacy, and summarized that there are three key barriers that a user must overcome: awareness, motivation, and ability. So we applied the SPAF and take a closer look at whether practitioners have the awareness of potential privacy risk that their product can entail. Second, the motivation to add on addressing privacy threats, such as taking an action to mitigate or at least having a discussion about such a risk of their product. And finally, the ability to convert privacy intention into action. So let's say the practitioner identified the risk and decide to act on mitigating the risk. Do they have the ability and the right tool in doing so? So we posed three research questions corresponding to each of the SPAF barriers that we just talked about. First, how well do AI practitioners' definition of privacy work reflect their awareness of AI exacerbated privacy threats? And second, what motivates and inhibits privacy work for AI products? And third, what affects practitioners' ability to do AI privacy work for AI products? So we interviewed 35 industry AI practitioners with all kinds of roles from different technology companies of different sizes and domains to understand their current approaches to privacy work. And all of our participants had participated in discussion about end-user privacy as it pertains to the AI product they built. So what did we find? First, when defining privacy, practitioners use the language of harm reductions and mitigation. For example, a tech lead talked about how his team's approaches to training privacy-preserving machine learning models as not being able to pinpoint behavior to a single origin. A software engineer stressed the importance of not repurposing a data set collected from end users other than their initial goals. And another practitioner described the need to ensure the user data be protected in the whole AI product life cycles. And seeing these, you may wonder, nothing really has changed compared to the practice for non-AI products, right? And indeed, our participants were not really aware of how the capabilities and the requirements of AI might affect the privacy threats entailed by their products. One example here is that while many of our participants' products involve large language model, none of them mention the memorization issues in LLM, which can accidentally reveal sensitive user data to other users. And in terms of motivation, we identify key motivators and inhibitors for AI privacy work. First is the alignment with business interests. Our participants discuss competitive differentiation and client concerns as a key motivators for privacy-related design deliberations. So some of them also talked about social responsibility. Specifically, they do not want bad use cases of their machine learning products to be inappropriately applied in the real world. And finally, many practitioners mentioned complying with external regulations like GDPR as a general motivation to act on privacy. But we also found more inhibitors for practitioners' AI privacy work. I'm going to share some of them here. First is the rigid compliance. So indeed, compliance with privacy regulation can motivate privacy approaches. However, we also found that compliance-driven approaches to privacy sometimes also prevent practitioners to go beyond minimum requirements. Second, practitioners also express the lack of career incentives to advocate for privacy, or even indirectly misalign with such incentives. Finally, the opportunity costs. Our participants discuss how privacy work comes with the trade-offs that make it difficult to prioritize. For example, the trade-offs in model performance entailed by privacy work. So a key upshot of practitioners' motivation for privacy is that their privacy work is most commonly driven by meeting non-AI specific compliance standards, and that practitioners currently face many more inhibitors than motivators for privacy work in developing AI products, and thus have a low overall motivation to engage in privacy work beyond minimum requirements. And finally, we want to understand ways that translate practitioners' intention about privacy work into actual actions. Our participants describe using a range of methods, artifacts, and resources in their privacy work for AI products. I will talk about two more common ones here. First, it is common that there are some company-wide privacy trainings to educate them about privacy. However, such trainings were often generic and not directly useful for developing AI products. We also found that practitioners reference on-demand design documentation and consult the privacy and legal experts when designing for privacy. But overall, we found that practitioners face ability barriers in their privacy work. Specifically, AI systems are complicated, and it's hard for practitioners to think about privacy as issues that could result from the data they collect and process. Also, practitioners often found it challenging to navigate privacy requirements when building the AI products. Specifically, the ways to make sure that AI products comply with these compliances were often too new for the organization to have prior experiences. So in general, practitioners were not well prepared in terms of the tools, resources, and support to design for privacy. Instead, they focused mostly on following compliance rules and had to put in work to understand how those rules apply to specific products. So now seeing these barriers that practitioners face, how can we do about them? So first is to improve practitioners' awareness of AI exacerbated privacy threats. So in our interviews, we found that many practitioners are not aware of the potential risk to privacy that may arise from integrating AI technology into their products. And indeed, nothing all that different about AI in terms of improving awareness inherently, right? But in the context of AI being so rapidly integrated into products necessitates this. We're now seeing AI embedded in products like mouse, Roomba, and toilets, of which people may wonder if AI is necessary in the first place. Or in addition, we may as well concern that the practitioners who are building these products should at least have access to the educational materials on privacy that is specific to AI. So a potential direction is to create AI-specific training campaigns. So awareness campaigns are commonly used to increase awareness of privacy and security threats more generally, such as those implemented during the onboarding in workplace. Similar campaigns can be effective at raising practitioners' awareness of how AI might change the landscape of privacy for their products. So to that end, our research team launched an AI privacy taxonomy website that captures privacy risk entailed by the unique capabilities and requirements of AI. We see these as a potential starting point to create a set AI-specific training campaigns and help practitioners with their privacy work. And second, we found that our participants were ill-equipped for the privacy work. It did not have tools to help mitigate AI-specific privacy threats. Thus, future work should look into AI-specific privacy design assessment and design tools. For example, working human-centered AI has already explored approaches like checklists and value cards to help practitioners explicitly foreground principles like fairness and transparency in the design of AI systems. So similar artifacts can be created to help practitioners design for AI-specific privacy threats as well. And again, to that end, our research team is building a system called Privy. Very briefly, through Privy, we want to demonstrate a possibility where practitioners can identify key use cases and associate beneficiaries of product idea, and identify potential privacy victims associated with these key use cases, and organize and prioritize use case-specific privacy risk of their AI product ideas. So we actually have a working prototype ready in this conference, and if you're interested in giving a system a shot, I'd love to chat more offline. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.